As Garrett awakens, he finds that both Drake and Marita are also trying to nurse him to his health, which makes perfect sense. So, as they nurse him, Garrett is only at 2 HP, as of what had happened previously with the ice mephits attacking the others. The day passes by, and everyone reaches to their maximum, including Garrett. So while the day passes by, they make their decisions of heading through the mountain areas in means of trying to find, if possible, the other water elemental stone. And they are in search of the three of them are all in search of this. And as they keep moving along the way, they do realize that there are some strange, abnormal creatures that are also blocking the path. Drake says in a very scared voice, these creatures are pretty dangerous, and that we'll have to fear the worst when coming across them. So, of course, these creatures are not the orcs, but something a little different. So let me just take a look to see what is available in this path. So, let's take a look. So, okay, let me see. Let me see this. Sorry, people. Let's check. They do cross through the open areas, through the mountainous areas, and as they do come across a strange monstrosity of a beast. A creature that is an enormous humanoid giant with giant misshapen jaws, and so yeah. It's the humanoid, I can tell you that. The creature has extended claws, it has jaws, it has a nasty tongue dangling from its mouth. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. So, the creature is trying to attack, a part lion and part bird, a griffin, across the mountain range. The group makes a fair decision whether or not they wish to attack. Okay, so Garrett makes the first strike of attack. So yeah, that's what happens. Garrett makes the first attack first against this strange, pale white creature with a tongue dangling from its mouth and claws ready to slash at victims. Garrett prepares an attack of using his warhammer, which will be a 2 plus 3, 5 damage. So that'll be... So yeah, the Griffin takes 5 damage, now decreases it down to... Sorry, not Griffin, the other creature. My bad. Next up will be Marita. Oh wait, yeah, I'm correct. That is 9. So that's a 9. Does that even hit? 9 plus 1, which is a 10, which does not hit. That is a 10. Plus 1 is 11, which doesn't hit also. Creature's turn. Wow, 2. Griffin. 3. Me? What the hell am I rolling? I'm rolling a different dice. Man, I can't with this. 11 plus 3, which will be 14, does hit the ghast. Garrett will, let me see this. Garrett will perform a longbow attack, which that'll decrease one of the arrows in inventory. So let me get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, longbow. That'll be 1d8 of piercing, and that will be what? Added with dexterity? I'm not sure. Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, 8 plus 3, which will be 11. Creature takes 11 damage. Bam. There you go. And as a bonus action, see if it works. Oh, that definitely works. As a bonus action, we'll use. We'll also put the longbow We'll also put the longbow across his back, and as he does, we'll sling a hammer and throw it in the direction. Doing many ranged attacks, it doesn't matter. So that's dexterity. It doesn't matter. So that's 3 plus 3, 6 points of slashing damage. So Garrett successfully manages to throw a hand axe into the ghast's upper thigh, and as it does, it ultimately weakens him to his ground. So yes, the creature does take 6 points of damage of slashing, beating it down to 14 health left. That's Garrett's turn. Marita. Frank. Good lord. Okay, here. That is 16. Plus, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Satyr does manage to hit him, and as he does, he aims a longbow attack. My bad. That's 4 total of damage. It's fine. It's fine. The ghast's turn is next. That's a 4 plus 3, 7. Does not hit anyone at all. 2. Griffin does not hit. Tell me, okay. Finally. Ah, freak me. Alright, well. 12, natural 1. Come on, man. Come on. Another 6 seconds passed. A lot of people miss. Ghast. Oh, that does hit someone. We'll strike the satyr. And as it does, it'll decrease his health by using a. Let me see this. Let me see. We'll slash one of its extended black claws into Drake. Okay, so that's 6 plus 3 is 9 slashing damage against the satyr. So 9 minus 31, which would be 22, I think? Yeah. Okay, leaves it down to 32. 22, and it also says that the satyr will also have to roll a DC Constitution saving throw. Natural 20. Ultimately succeeds. Manages to escape from a necrotic telekinetic pull from the slash of the claws itself. He does not get weakened, so that's a succeed. Ultimate succeed. That's the enemy's turn. Garrett is next in line. Finally! 15. That helps. Oh, wait, no. That's the Griffin. I'm so sorry. My bad. We'll perform a claw attack. Alright, so that's okay, so that's 8 plus 4, which will be 12. 12 slashing damage. This ultimately kills the ghast in its ground. As the nasty white creature, the ghast, falls into its ground and dies, as this happens, Drake comforts the griffin from its pain. And the griffin is ultimately soothed by his touch. As for Merida and Garrett, they see that the griffin is wounded in many places from the ghast. Interestingly enough, seeing that the griffin could have been paralyzed if the ghast would have weakened it so much. But luckily it didn't, so they managed to arrive in time. So they decide to keep moving ahead. The griffin is still terrified because the Delta's temple of the mountain itself is somewhat hazardous for some creatures voluntarily. Frightened of this cause, Drake's like, you know what, we have to take precaution. Let's not enter yet. Garrett's like, don't worry. I'll go in first. I'll see what this is. I'm a Dragonborn that has ice abilities. So with this mountain being extremely and scaringly very cold, I think best that I should go in first. They both agree. Merida is pretty traumatized, so she does not want to enter. And Garrett's like, don't worry, just stay out here until I come back. Garrett does enter inside the area. So let me see this. So, as they do enter in the temple ground, they do see that they see some strange carvings. Ones in which reveal an ancient draconic being. This being is, of course, like Garrett's Dragonborn half-self, a gray dragon carving, one in which has the same shape of a gray dragon, of the metallic dragon race. And as this is as true, the carving reveals the dragon trying to bind its ice magic into the fire elemental race. It means it portraying that there is a weakness to one of these stones, and perhaps it means, if possible, destroying the fire elemental and destroying permanently its ground. Carving also later reveals that also there is also another carving of a dragon-like creature. Of course, this one being a purplish aura of a black dragon with a similar head shape and the structure. Of course, this black dragon, Garrett knows, is Vinette, the black dragon. This carving reveals an ancient oracle time, a battle in which over the many years of nearly as much as 400 to nearly 600 years of progression, that these two dragons could be destined to fight against each other. Merida, hold up. Nope. Drake enters inside the chamber, and as he does, he says, what is this carving? What does this mean? And then Garrett's like, this carving reveals a time that my mother would be destined to defeat Vinette. But this is not the correct case. As of course, that within this temple is that both my parents had died. Drake wants to ask the question, saying, how has your mother died, specifically? And Garrett, he responds to this and says, my mother wanted to seek vengeance upon a race that had slaughtered my father. I never knew as to what they were or why they did it, but my mom would have done anything to save my father at that time. She killed the majority of that race. Only one was strong enough to kill her. She had died in sacrifice in trying to save both me and everyone else in the process. It was perhaps during that same time that the satyrs race would have been also attacked by another apprentice and their army. Drake fully understands this, knowing that Vanette has controlled those people that were worthy enough to lead an army, in means of trying to wield stones by force if they had to. Garrett looks upon the pedestal in the center of this cavern, within the temple of the Delta Mountain itself. Curious, he says, this pedestal was protected in means that there was a stone here, placed here for many years beforehand. What would have been on this pedestal, well, what used to, was the water elemental. The water stone was placed here in means of protection, preserved in ice in coldness, where it would be preserved for the years to approach. However, of course, that being said, when that day had arrived, of course, it was taken. But Garrett was confused. As he looked at the pedestal, he's like, wait a minute. After all these years, someone would have been here to protect this stone. I wonder who would have taken it. But of course, that of the next enemies that they had to fight against was an answer to his question. With it, they discovered that within the temple of the mountain itself, it's not just that of the same gremlin creatures, in which are not made of ice, but are made of an element far different than that of the last episode. These creatures are made of a gaseous form, in which they evaporate in an alternate white-like mist flowing through the breeze of the mountain, in a very cold yet warm type of aura, melting the ice, ultimately melting them into their weight. Drake answers this and says, oh god, these things are steam mephits, apart from the ice-made ones that we have originally fought from beforehand. Of course, that being said, these creatures are indeed combinations of fire and water, creating that of the gaseous form itself. With it, the inventors will have to re-roll for initiative. Let us begin. Sorry guys, that take a while. Okay, well, wow, that's absolutely terrible. Okay. I'm re-rolling for initiative. I'm sorry, everyone. My bad. Alright, perfect. I have officially re-rolled for initiative. You're welcome. Now, it appears that there are nearly as many as... There's only one. But I think it's safe to say there's 3 of them. So, let's do this. Each of these Steam-made entities, the Steam mephits, they each have 21 average of health, so we're going to each write that down. So, let us begin. Starting first with Drake. 18 definitely hits. So yeah, Drake performs. Where's he at? He makes his first attack by performing a short sword. That's what I'm gonna do. Short sword attack, which will be a 1d6. Freak. Okay, that is... I rolled 1. I'm sorry, everyone. That's 4 piercing damage against one of them. So that's 21 minus 4, which would be leading it down to 17. I'm correct. Let me see this. Oh, that's interesting. Next up, let's see. The Steam Mephits, oh wait, no, it's not their turn yet. Sorry, I got off track. Rita is next in line. Natural 20, yeah. She rolls for natural 20, and as she does, will perform a claw attack. Unless... Okay, that's interesting. Anyways, sorry. My mind was in completely different place. Anyways, Rita will roll 2d4s of slashing damage of her claws. 5... Let me see this. It's going to be 5 plus 1, 6. Doubled will be 12. So that's 21 minus 12, which will be 9. I'm correct, aren't I? And that's how much damage she had dealt. That's awesome. She had slashed across the neck part of one of the Steam Mephits. And as she does, this ultimately weakens them, almost beheaded them if given the chance. But they still stay on their ground. One of them does. That's her turn. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's her turn. So now, next up would be the other person's turn. Roll this. Ooh, 12. That does it. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say that person's moved. You'll find out who this person is. Next up is Garrett. Ooh, 14. That does it. Let me see this. Garrett will have the capability of breathing his cold weapon. I'm not entirely positive if that's a vulnerability, but I'm going to check. It is not. Cold damage is not a vulnerability for these Steam Mephits, so therefore, that's not going to work. But we're going to give it an attempt. It can still be weakened. It's just not a vulnerability, therefore, it won't be as much as damage as we'd hoped. I rolled 2 5s. Right? Yeah. So yeah, that's 10 damage total on one of them. So that'll lead this one down to 7. That thing's almost dead. That is Garrett's turn. The enemy's turn are next. So we're gonna do first with that one. Bam, bam. My goodness. Okay, first start with this one. This creature, one of the Steam Mephits will go outside in means of weakening the Griffin, and as it does, it'll perform a claw attack. So that'll be 2 24s. So I'm going to roll these. So that'll be 5 in total. But really, it's going to be like 2 slashing damage and 3 fire damage. So this is 5. This is 5 total. So that's basically all there is to it. 5 damage total on the Griffin. Draining it now to 29. Okay. Okay, so... Oh, and the other enemy attacks Garrett. And as this does, one of them will perform a steam breath in his direction. They will perform a steam breath attack. This will have to lead Garrett and Drake at the same time. And... Okay. Drake does not succeed. Garrett does. Unless... Well, it's 10, so I don't know what to say. So that's going to be a 1d8 of fire damage of the steam breath. It's weird, but you know what I mean. So, only 2 points of fire damage. Oh, not counting that. Okay. Garrett takes 1 point. 1 point of fire damage. Drake takes 2. We're gonna erase this. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Alright, Drake's turn is next. Fails. Unless... Yeah, he fails. That's 4 plus 4 is 8, so it doesn't hit them. 13. Something hits that. But who? Ooh, Marita does. In fact, no. We're not going to count that as a hit. We're going to count that for the next one. Instead of doing an attack, Marita will perform a luring song action. 300 feet of where the creature might be. So she's specifically trying to avoid the others, but she's doing this in means of trying to charm Steamy specifically. Well, the 3 that are still there. They all 3 of them have to roll a DC 11. DC 11 was saving throw, being charmed until the song ends. So let me see. The song ends if the harpy is in caps. I must move on its turn towards the harpy by the most direct. Let me see this. So, okay, so the first one succeeds. Let me see this. Most of them don't. Bottom 2 are... These guys are charmed. They're all charmed. Well, all except one. They're not charmed, and as they are... Many social check. Oh, that makes perfect sense. So now... Okay, that makes sense. So with Marita ending her turn, the 15 attack will be centralized on what appears to be a humanoid stranger moving into the direction of the mountain. This stranger moves in this direction. As it does, as the stranger moves closer to the mountain's range, he or she, or whatever the stranger looks like, this person performs a spear attack, lunging a giant spear into one of the chests of the steam mephits. This person uses 2 hands, meaning it'll be a 1d8 of damage. Okay, let me see this. That is 6 piercing damage on one of them, weakening that one to being 3. So that's her turn. That's the person's turn. Garrett is next. Let's see what he... I rolled a 3. I don't know why I wrote that. Uh-oh. 12 hits something, does it? Indeed it does. Steam mephit in which is stabbed by the stranger's spear turns at the right moment and lashes its claws into the person's face, draining their health to a 1d4. That doesn't matter. It doesn't really have much of an... Oh, never mind. Sorry. 2 d4s. Both slashing and the fire damage it inflicts, leaving a total of 6 damage inflicted on her. Okay. Creature slashes the person's face, and as it does, it flies and retreats back from a few 30 feet away into the air. And the next up would be... Well, that's another 6 seconds passed. Next up would be Drake's turn again. If it rolls a 16 and succeeds, will perform a ram attack into one of them. So they're not resistant. That'll be a 2d4 plus modifier, ow, of bludgeoning damage. That's 5 plus 1, 6. 6 bludgeoning damage. That's perfect. Alright, the one that's still in the cave is now at 1 HP left. So yeah. Oh, and he might as well... Never mind. That's surprising. Probably don't know this, but satyrs do not have a multi-attack. I didn't see that. That, or maybe I should probably read more of the manual than it is the freaking call. Anyways, that's Drake's turn. Marita. Woo! Fail. Natural 2. Okay, that's 8. Plus 0. Doesn't even hit. Wow, that hits. Perfectly. Alright. Oh, I almost forgot. Previously, as of course of killing the ghast creature, Garrett does remove the hand axe from the upper thigh of the ghast from previously of the bottom of the mountain. One of which had attacked Griffin before. He gets that hand axe, and in fact grabs 2 of them in his hand still. God freaking dang it. Come on, no, don't fall. Okay. So that's going to be a total of 2d6s. We're going to do that. And each plus, well, actually 6 total. We're going to do that. So that's going to be... It's going to be 14 total damage. He does this specifically to the one that has not been harmed yet. So, that's what he's doing. He's going to harm the one in which has not been harmed. So, 21 minus 14 would lead it down to 7 left. That is awesome. Double axe technique on Garrett right there. Okay. One of them rolls a 12, which is the one that is also trying to gain outside access as well, since that the other one is at 1 HP. Well, no, this one's already outside, sorry. The one that got stabbed by the spear. Attacks, does not attack the stranger, but attacks the griffin. Performing a claw attack. Well, actually, no, steam breath, sorry. Performs a steam breath attack, meaning that the griffin will have to roll a dexterity of 10. Bam! Immediately succeeds. I rolled a 10 plus 2, which is a 12, so that succeeds. We'll take half of a 1d8 of damage of fire. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, I rolled a natural 8. Well, health is 4. 29 minus 4, of course, being 25. So we're doing that. Yeah, Steam Mephit did exactly just that. Others, they cannot harm Marita, but can harm others. The other 2 are charmed under Marita's harpy song. Well, half harpy, you know. Centralizes on both of them. That one rolls a 6 plus 3, which is a 9, which hits no one. And as for this one, that'll be a 19. God dang it. We'll attack Drake. And as this happens, it will perform a claw attack, which will be that of 2d4 damage. So that's a total of 5. Draining Drake down to 15 health left. That's the enemy's turn. Next up is Drake. Natural 2. Does not hit. Ooh, 9. Who rolls that? Oh, that's Maria. Ooh. In fact... Okay, that's also succeeding. We'll make 2 attacks. She'll perform another claw attack, and she'll roll another d4 for her club attack. She still has the club wielded in her own hand. So that's going to be 5 slashing damage against the one in the cave. And then, shoot, I don't know why I rolled that again. And then another 2 against that of the same steamy fit, draining it and ultimately evaporating it. As this happens, any creature that's 5 feet of its death will have to roll a DC of 10. Tell me that's enough. It does, and Marita does take fire damage of 1d8. So we have to roll this. Drain 6. Which is completely fine because she's now at 32, so she barely got hit anyway. So yeah, that one dies. The other 2 still remain. So that was Marita's turn. Okay, that's going to be a 1d... with one hand clutched on the stranger's face, stranger uses only one hand in means of trying to ram the spear into the other one. Oh. Well, it drains only 2 health, leading it down to 1. She also moves away. She also moves away from the direction of where the steamy fit is, because if getting close, it will be pretty terrifying for her to suffer a blow of fire damage if it dies. Next up, that was her turn. So, okay. I'm sorry, I almost just dropped the entire desk entirely. That was so bad of me. Garrett will perform a Warhammer attack, which will become a 1d8 again. So let's do this. Bam! Roll me good. Ooh, look at that. I rolled a 7 plus 3, 10 damage total. In fact, this one's still outside. What the hell? Okay, well, the creature immediately dies, and as it does explode. He does move in time. Let's see this. Okay, he does succeed. He succeeds, but he still has to take half of a 1d8 of damage. Okay, he only takes 2. So, this is scary. I'm just telling that. This is scary, I tell you. First steamy fit still lives. In fact, Satyr has a dexterity of 3. That succeeds, but he still has to take half of damage. Takes 1. He's got so lucky that I rolled that. There's only 1 left. But I'm pretty sure it might die. Well, we're just gonna have to see. That's a 10. Sorry. Alright, 10. Steamy Fit does not attack Marita, as of course that since it is charmed, it can't be afflicted in means of trying to attack her, or charge at her of any type. So instead of charging at Marita, it attacks at the Griffin again. Right? Yes. It has rolled right number for that. We'll perform a claw attack, which will be, once again, another 2d4 of damage. Technically, 1d4 of slashing and a 1d4 of fire. Let's see what this is. So that's going to be 3 total. 3 total. 21 is left. So yeah, I think the creature doesn't have its steam breath yet. It doesn't have that. Natural 1. Drake does not hit. Drake does not hit the creature. What if Marita does? She does. Of course, she uses her club, clomping it against the head. This ultimately weakens the creature and will also perform a burst also. Making 3 creatures in that area have to roll. 20, 12, and 17. They all succeed. They all succeed, but we'll have to take that of... Okay. Half of 1d8 of damage. That's Bam. It's gonna be Bower. Bower. They're gonna take half of that. So, okay, there you go. So 19, this drains to 3, and then this drains to 30. Marita has barely taken any damage of any kind, so that's a good thing. The Steam Mephits are all dead. Perfect. They luck upon the massacre, and as they do, the Mephits, after their death, their evaporated gaseous auras, they swirl into a circular formation, and as this does, a dark, evil face hidden in darkness and shadow. He speaks with this deep voice, saying, "You players have managed to compete against these fighters that I have sent for all of you to face. But now, for your adventure has not ended yet. You think you possess 2 stones, but let me remind you that I have 2 stones myself." And then, of course, the circular form suddenly disappears when he later says, "You must be prepared for the kingdom of Taurus, for it will suffer the days of destruction like it has many years before." And then, of course, the circular formation disappears. With it, Drake and Garrett, driven by fear, they come out of the temple when they see this dark vision. Marita, the griffin, and the stranger, they step out through the clearing. They're curious. They have not seen what the vision held. Marita asks, "What's happened in there?" Garrett says, It appears that Xander has almost created an ambush in means of trying to kill us on the mountain. He knew that we were going to retrieve the water stone. So, with us possessing of 2 stones, he'd be smart enough to having 2 stones in his possession, creating a stalemate between us. Or perhaps maybe not. And Drake looks at the stranger and says, "And who is this young person?" They all look at this person. They discover that she has a strange look, in which, as if she was not a human from this world. There appears to be that of each of 3 pink markings, each on either side of her neck, almost like gills, but they're not open. They're just weird scar-like appendages of each on the sides. And her face looks a little shaped, almost different. Almost looking like non-human in some way. Yet attractive, just not human in some way. Garrett asks, "And who are you?" She answers and says, "My name is Princess Nora, and I am, of course, the princess of the aquatic regions of the Sonark Edges." And Marita said, "Aquatic edges? Like the regions itself of Sonark? That means that you're not..." And then Nora's like, "Yes. I am not human. I am a mermaid, and I have been the princess of my people for a long time, for more than nearly as many as 10 years. But, of course, I was not fully lieged as a queen yet. I had to do something important. As, of course, I have been aware of the threatening of Taurus, and how a fleet of enemies have inflicted terrorism throughout the land itself, even to my people, for all it's worth. So, I had made my decisions a means of traveling across the lands, a means of arriving to this mountain. I figured that if I had wielded this water elemental stone, it wouldn't be of mere control of our regions voluntarily." Garrett knew, of course, about this, that Nora had made her wise decisions of arriving at this mountain means of retrieving the water stone. But, of course, that being said, they were all too late. They knew for sure that with the pedestal empty, it is indeed confirmed that they had 2 stones, and now Xander had 2 stones, meaning that war had broken between one group against another. Alright, I had forgotten to do this, but I will do this right now. I'm known for certain that Garrett has officially taken 3 different actions with fire damage infused with it. At least I'm certain of it, but we're just gonna have to figure it out. Okay. Oh god. Alright, the hot sauce stuff, let's do this. Okay. I'll have to get used to it. For your information, this would have never have happened from last episode, as of course. It wouldn't be as much. Now I have to do... Alright, let me kind of wipe that away. Oh! God dang it. That's 2. I'm on to my last and 3rd one. Oh my god. Dude, this hot sauce is so bad. Tabasco. Bro, I had to choose something like... Why do I do this? Last one. Oh my god. My god. Oh my god, I gotta breathe. Alright. Thanks for watching.